ために最も必要なもの、それは運です。
Hey, welcome everybody once more to another live edition of the Project WEBTOON's podcast. I know it has been some time. There has been a grip and we've taken a little bit of a break, but we're here one more time with you. And Seraph just turns off the lights. It's after dark session, I guess. All swear words are now in play. So it is. Yeah, you got to show it off. You put in effort for this episode, so you got to make sure everyone sees what you're here to bring. But oh yeah, as always though, it's your big man. It's Sleepy.
Oh yeah, that's your boy Seraph.
And this is Dr. Boom.
Hey, we got the whole crew here. Everyone on camera too, so that you can see our lovely and glowing faces as we come back in next time. Oh man, yeah. How was your holidays? How was your breaks, boyos? Seraph had himself a birthday stream.
Yeah,
kept it live.
I still have yet to build the kit I bought.
Oh, you got a new kit too?
Christmas, yeah.
Nice.
I'll build that sometime soon.
I picked up a kit as well, actually.
What do you think?
Let me
Tell me about it. Tell me the details. I don't know if I can get this without breaking it. Can you build it?
No, I ain't built it yet.
Build it yet.
It's built yet.
Okay, you got the eating alien.
Yeah, I'm one of those evil boys, you know.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
No.
Fun build, you know.
Yeah, I was trying to look through, see which ones had some kind of higher marks to it, since I had the money to throw down on a higher quality grade model. So, and yeah, this one was
Nothing wrong with that, to be honest.
oh yeah. Yeah, I wanted something. I wanted something a little better than what I would normally get way back when, when I was 16 and could only afford maybe like a $20 thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Where
Now
it's
that
like
I'm an adult, I'm just like buying things that I can actually afford.
like
more than
50% of this
when I
is
was younger.
50% of this is actual plastic, and the other remaining is all like toothpicks.
Yeah, you got a dream.
Think hard. It'll be like you're actually playing with that. But yeah, so good times. How about you, Ark? How's your break?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. You did nothing at all.
Yes.
You just sat in limbo the entire time and just stared into nothingness.
I wish.
I
That would have been so much better.
Well, next time you should try and invite the void over. Maybe it'll be a little bit more enjoyable then. But yeah, I'm just glad that we're able to get back in together and show up for another show here, because we do got a few things to discuss for this episode coming up. While we were on break, we actually got an end of Solo Leveling. Big news to talk with on that. Olympus just went on its hiatus. We got a return from Mookhyang, which weirdly enough ended in the middle of a war. So I don't understand why that would be a good point to drop a hiatus, but wherever the story lands and wherever they decide to make a break, that's where they got to make a break. Yeah, as well as we got a return of our favorite trashy hero, is running amok on the world once again. So we got a few big things to cover as well. We got a lovely end topic too. So I'd say we just jump right into it so we can get down to business. How about with it, boys? Yep.
We're waiting on you.
What's up?
We're waiting on you.
We're waiting on me. Okay, yeah. I am the one that's gotta move the train along. So I tell you, let's just hop right out of the gate with this. Solo Leveling, end of it all. The king has finally prevailed, I guess. If he is still king, technically.
He rewinded time.
That
And
was
said, "All right, dude, I'm about to take this entire war on by myself."
now. that was the thing when they said that there's time manipulation. I instantly started thinking, Arc, how is he going to handle this? Because I know him and about time fixing issues.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just.
I mean, he won at the end of the day still, but then he decided this isn't a perfect run. I need to S tier this.
And then we got like an off-screen win. Like
He said, "I bet I'm about to S plus this.
Yeah.
I'm about the new game plus this."
I haven't read the light novel, so I don't know if like this is actually how it went, or we get to see it a bit before, or like anything at all. Because
I remember, like
Seraph would be our
we did. If I remember, we did get a scene where he fought the dragon at the end, like going back in time and act like he did go back in time in the light novel, and he went in and fucking fought the entire war by himself. And they had like scenes and everything in the light novel that he actually fought.
Yeah, because like
instead of being off screen like they did here, where it just said, "Alright, cool, I see the final boss again," and then just off screen, and then be like, "Okay, cool, 2 years have passed. I'm back in my own world. Everything's back to normal. No more gates. No nothing.
Yeah.
My dad's alive. My family's good."
If I was the one in charge of the webtoon, what I would have done is, at some point in the middle of the fight between him and the dragon, some point we just have it where our main character like reverts to a younger age, but it has no explanation what happened. And then at the end, he meets up with like all the angels. It's like, well, I did my perfect run, and then we get the epilogue. That means you're like, okay, I'm smart enough to piece together what happened, but you still were able to see like a final fight, and it's one complete fight.
Yeah.
You just have to like be smart enough to piece it together. Like this is, you saw half of the first run of the first fight, and then you see the end of it as him like as the regression fight, and then it'd been perfectly fine. But the way they did here, it's like it's all off screen. I have no idea how he got to this point. Like again, like because when he was asked about, I was like, "Oh, do I get to keep my shadows and things?" And they're like, "No, you gotta start over."
No, yeah,
again.
you gotta start at zero.
So it's just all off screen, and I'm not a huge fan of how they did that. So
he didn't even say goodbye to any of his shadows, the one that stuck around for
the ones that
time. He just looked at them and went, "Alright, cool."
Yeah. All right, it's
so
fine. I'll find y'all again. Maybe, I guess. Don't know.
I mean,
not
since
important.
Technically, they're all monsters. They'll come back.
I mean, yeah, they'll all.
no, that's not true, because there was a couple actually like players.
Oh yeah, they're the.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it's
like Reed and then like
yeah,
fucking
the one
the
other.
Iron, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
like,
the two brothers.
Yeah, so like they don't come back because
Well,
there's way they can come back.
no, because I believe they said if he rewind, he lost all the shadows. So those 3 individuals that died during that time all go back too. Because I think you see them at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're all
Everyone is
back.
restored at the end, so you don't get to see them. Like they won't be coming back as shadows. So,
Well, they
like,
they don't become back as shadows is all, but that's fine. I mean, also for
We
this
didn't like
world,
them anyways.
what's up?
We didn't like them anyways.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were expendable all to the end of the world, so it doesn't matter. So, yeah, so him reversing everything and changing most of that, still everything goes back. So there's essentially like no like Hunters Guild classes or anything like that ever occurred at this point.
the only person with special powers is with the lady who can see the future.
Yeah.
Because
She apparently
like,
has a
it
gift.
would be like she was cut on the cusp of the time loop. Like it would be like she was the one where at the start of the time loop, before he went back to prevent everything, she had already received her powers at the beginning.
Yeah,
Before
so
everyone else
she was
became, like,
okay. So that's what I was wondering. So yeah, she's the one that the regression doesn't affect. She still knows of what happened and what was
He
before.
only went back as far as possible to right before everything actually occurs, but not before. But like
not before the first people like were
Yeah,
starting
before
being
the first
bestowed,
start, yeah.
but were being bestowed their powers. Yeah. So the
Because he still has to be bestowed his powers. That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
So like if he and her are like patient zero, then like you can't stop that. Like that's basically what that is.
Okay. So at least those individuals still retain their abilities as well as their he retains all his memories, but she also retains probably some level of it. But yeah, because when he shows up again, she makes a prediction that something dangerous is coming, and then just the gate opens up and nothing comes out other than him. So they're just like, no, all right, well, I guess this was nothing at the end of the day. But he also decides, because it's still only been like what, a couple of years in his world since he's been gone when he did the reverting, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, so he still makes himself, he intentionally de-ages himself as well, so that, you know, he's not like, oh, I'm actually like a 20-something-year-old guy now with a full beard.
I'm actually like 30 years old.
I'm not like 30 with a full beard coming out of this gate, you know. Gonna scare the hell out of all my family members. We're not trying to do an anime version of Big here. So Junwoo has accomplished everything, you know, and we kind of get the illusion of the happy ending as well, because it ends with him seeing old girl as well, you know, when she's there, and they meet eyes, and then he goes, well, thanks for watching, and I was like, okay, everything worked out.
Cool.
Yep. like they just needed to make sure that bit of fan service was checked off the list, like, now we can't leave that hanging for these individuals, just to make sure. So yeah, I will say the implied fight at the end where they decide to just super cut that all the way to him just getting to the Dragon King at the very end, and just like, all right, well, we're here again, let's start over. Not to mention for the fact that reverting back all of the other monarchs, it also gave them all their memory. It doesn't erase any of their memories of what happened before, so they all knew that he was coming.
Yes.
So I'm surprised like that doesn't sound like an interesting bit. It's like, why is that something that you think wouldn't be interesting to go with? Like, all of the bad guys know who the main hero is, and that they're all, and that he's present. So you're like,
all the monarchs and all the angels know what's going on.
Yeah.
Regardless, like if you rewind time, they're like, no, we retained this, because they're like, they were all aware of like how many regressions they had already gone through.
Exactly. Yeah, they've been through it so many times. So the fact that's like, okay, so all of them essentially can prepare if they really want to. But granted, I'm guessing that just this fast forward means that it meant nothing regardless. He was already far more powerful than any of them at any point that they of them doing anything, even though he essentially had to start back at zero, correct?
Yes.
So he had to go back through all the entire leveling up process, all the way from the beginning.
Yes.
So yeah, so even at that point, it still nothing stopped him, because he was just, I guess, that far advanced anyway. It wouldn't matter. But yeah, so and overall, I guess I would ask Ark, what do you think overall, like either score wise, 1 to 10, or, you know, what do you think of the series as it was?
I think it's an 8.
Okay, an 8
out of 10. It has a solid start. It has a solid. It's solid all the way through. There were some moments where I kind of question it, but that's like weird leaps in logic when it happens.
Mm-hmm. At least the entire journey has been good.
Yeah, like and like I said, like if the time skip at the very end and the repeat without us, like everything's off screen, that's because that's like really fresh in my mind. So like I think I have to keep it at like an 8.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that everything up until this point has been a good ride, so I don't have a problem.
Okay. So that's good. Seraph, how about you? What do you want to give the entire series run?
On the same boat, I give it a solid 8. It's definitely, for what it is, it's really nice. The whole first season was really good. Second season was nice as well. It started to drop off at the end because I feel like they kind of
They were starting to run,
a little bit.
like
At the same time.
they were starting
That
to
makes
rush
sense?
it. You said?
Did a little bit of both. They like dragged it on, but at the same time still felt rushed at the same time.
Oh, okay,
They could
okay.
have gotten points from the light novel to put into the webtoon,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't. So that's what kind of made it felt rushed. But at the same time, they kind of dragged on some of the fights, like the fight with the dragon,
Mm-hmm.
towards the end there. And it felt like it was going on for a while for like no reason at all.
Yeah, especially now that you know that he's gonna have to do this all over again, kind of thing with the
Yeah.
regression.
And
It's
then
like,
they said, hey,
why?
no, we're gonna off-screen the entire regression. We're gonna off-screen pretty much a lot of the things.
Yeah, like why
Just to
even?
get it over with real quick, and then start on with a new series, which is like the next one was like Disaster Class Hero.
Okay.
I think it was,
Yeah, Return of the Disaster Class
Plus
Hero.
here.
which I like a lot, by the way. It's just funny as hell. Anyways, but like if it was up to like, it's definitely like a webtoon that you can recommend to people for
Mhm.
if they're starting, because then it can get them hooked and get them like enchanted into webtoons.
Okay, yeah.
It is,
Start
yeah.
reading other ones.
It is a very good, like, if I was to
Starter
say,
one,
oh,
you know?
It's a very easy light webtoon to get into without.
Yes.
It's
without
quick
too
read.
much.
Like you can probably finish it really quickly if you really
Mhm.
wanted to, and like you can still get hooked onto it, well, and then you can from there you can branch out to every series.
Okay, yeah.
No
yeah,
problems, you know.
Yeah. I think it does its shonen roots pretty good. I think it's solidly does well for its character and its story. There are a few little spots here and there that I would have been like, okay, this could have been a little more fleshed out. This could have, like, you could have cut some stuff here and not dragged that out. Definitely when we got to the end and I was like, man, this fight is really going on, and then only to, him to win, and then to tell us, oh, he's actually got to do all this over again. And
Yeah, like,
essentially
you're
this is going to
saying-
be a harder version of that. And you're like, wow, why did you drag this out if we know that the final fight could have been just that part then? This could have.
That's why I said the way I presented it, where if you cut it, it would still feel like it's long, but you would completely understand when it's like the first half was the first run, the second half is the second run,
Mhm.
and then it'd been perfectly fine because then it doesn't feel completely dragged out. That last fight, yes, it did feel dragged out because it was like, now watch my ultimate move and watch my ultimate move. I'm like, yeah, we get it. Ultimate moves, like final attacks, cool, great. Like, but we know who the main character is. We know who's gonna win.
Yeah.
So, it was
How this
just
goes. All of you S ranks are fodder. It's just like you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just how that was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's a good start for people who haven't actually read a webtoon, like
Yeah.
an action webtoon.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and I agree to that, and it's already made its way over here to the States in translation. It's probably upstairs. I have one of the free comic book day first runs for the first chapter from there, so it is making its way over here in another format. So I suspect that'll maybe get it a few more eyes to pick up, and maybe even potentially, it getting an animated series. What's up, Seraph?
They're getting stated that they are getting an animated series.
Okay.
And I have seen a couple of softcover copies in
Okay.
Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, there we
For
go.
Values 1, 2, and 3.
All right, there we are. See, yeah. So it's making its way over here, at least in the other formats that the bigger populace is more knowledgeable on than just the webtoon version. So we'll probably see this play out some other way in some other spaces as well. So yeah, I think overall the series did its job, and it did a pretty good one. I would definitely want to check some of our other friends and see what they say when they got to the end. I'm sure they've already got a few cast out on it since this one's coming through so late. But yeah, I definitely agree with you too. I'd say solid 8 around all the way. So but without anything else on that, I think we're all good there. So big ups for the solo team. Hopefully they can enjoy themselves. And you said the new series for the team itself is called the Return of the Disaster Class Hero, or is that for the new scan? Okay, so the team's working on that now.
That's like one of the ones that the team is working on. So
Okay.
the ones that they're coming out
Okay.
with.
the art looks exactly the same.
Yeah, the art looks exactly the same.
Oh, okay, so straight up the same. But you said it's more funny. Is it like comical?
Yeah, it's
Or is
because the
it-
main character is just... He's like... He's an asshole, but at the same time, he's like, I'm super strong. I could
No,
beat
no,
the shit
he
out of
is
anybody I want."
completely justified in being an
Yeah,
asshole.
yeah,
Okay.
because he was fucking... There was a traitor, somebody killed him, and then he came back to life, and he's like, oh, man, I'm about to go beat the shit out of this guy.
Yeah, so he. It's fine.
Justifiable
He's a justified asshole.
It's a
Justified
justifiable
asshole.
and I absolutely love the main character.
Oh God, no. Well, I mean, this is the
Characters
group
like
that likes
I
trash
love
heroes, so
much.
it's
oh
not.
my God.
Coming
That's
from
why I
this.
like
team.
hardcore leveling warrior so much.
Is that the reason you're a fan of those asshole characters?
No,
Ethan
but
is
they're
such
just
a dick. I love him.
Hardcore
Ethan is
leveling
such
warrior
a dick. I love him.
has no reason to be an asshole though.
He just
Actually,
is.
He has a lot of reasons to be an asshole.
Well,
man.
later on now, probably. Yeah. Oh, well, it's good that we're slowly building out those topics of choice and genre we like, but good to see. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on from solo leveling here to a new one that started up back, as we all know, with Mookhyang Dark Lady. The war still rages on, as we know. Seraph, I don't believe you're caught up in this one, are you?
My scans only have up to 129.
For 129, I believe that.
It's caught up.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, I think that's just it.
Okay, because
I think
like
that was like what, last week or the week beforehand, right?
I believe so. Let me do a
it's
quick
like
look.
what I remember mostly is like that
Yeah,
chick
129.
came out with a sweet ass scarab titan. Scarab.
Oh,
it
yeah,
had
her.
the one of the three like forbidden titans.
Yeah,
or
the-
whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah.
The legendary Forbidden class Titans that they're not supposed to. Yeah,
But
Yeah.
are using anyways because like whatever.
because I mean,
Do what we
who's gonna stop us? YOLO it.
Like, looking at like nukes and be like, why don't we just use these?
want.
But what if?
And they were just sitting there.
But it also hurts us too. But this would still be fun, right?
We would win immediately. Use this, though.
But the destruction, but winning.
That's
Yeah.
literally what that was, though.
I know. But yeah, so the season started back up with, I believe Dark's armies was in the middle of a forward ambush and attack.
They annihilated their attack, and then their
Stole
allies
all-
were like,
Stole all
"Hey,
their mechs.
we need you to go and fight more," and they're like, "No, we did all the work this time. Y'all do the next one."
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
they
we held up
essentially
our end of the bargain. It's your turn.
They essentially-
we took out
yeah.
all these guys. Y'all didn't do nothing.
they essentially gave them a mission that they're like, they're really just here to be defense, but we know they're going to be fodder, so who gives a shit? And then they're like, well, we not only won, we also stole all the other enemies' mechs, so we've got all this extra supply now. And they come back with the whole, yeah, can you guys go be fodder for the forward front of this? And they're just like, nah, fuck that. And I do like that, yeah, they send the envoy to go and basically talk to Dark's stand-in. And he just basically just tells you, he's like, yeah, did you win this fight? Did you guys pitifully lose another fight? I'm sorry. I believe that you need to, actually show some progress in this war before you start bossing other people around in it. And then, of course, the general shows up to, like, go and find out what's going on, and Dark shows up and basically just puts the general in her place as well. So, yeah. We're still in the middle of that skirmish fight right now. As you said, the boss Scarab shows up, but the counter to that as well on the other team shows up. So now they're just in this standoff. But I believe that either the
general had
the general's
they had taken a lead because they were like, "Oh no, my men died," and they was like, For our men sacrificed themselves, fight harder
Yeah.
now. And it was like,
yeah, it was the fight harder
man,
moment.
Y'all are really good at propaganda. Ain't you?
I mean, someone's got to work these angles. But no, I think the general took a fatal blow, or at least a heavy damaging one, and her son is showing up in another one of the legendary mechs, I believe.
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So something.
They have reinforcements.
Reinforcements showed up, and basically the enemy went, "Shit, this is what we weren't waiting for." So, yeah. Dark is still kicking back and not really giving a shit about what's going on too much, since he doesn't really need to. But we still got the looming meteor that's still coming in however many weeks that they still have yet to figure out or solve.
In 5 minutes.
In anime time, that's like, I don't know what, 60 chapters? It'll be a while before they get back to like, oh yeah, that spell we cast that is gonna annihilate all of us. Should we do something about that? Yeah, so yeah, that's still another thing that they are eventually gonna have to get back to at some point. But also the enemy's son is looking for Dark as well. If I'm correct,
so.
He's not doing it as like a spy. He's trying to find him as
it's because they didn't believe that there was a master on the level of Dark on that side. They thought it was something weird, right? I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like they didn't believe that Dark's mech suit and Dark was like at like the supreme master level, because they're like, there's no one. There could be no one who's actually at that level. So like they're trying to find Dark to be like, yeah, it was just a fluke. It was just a girl in a suit, and not really, it's all because of the mech and not because of the girl. And then Dark is like,
no suit or anything like that.
Yeah. I like that those two, that group is almost like a weird metaphor for also the readers, because they're not in the battle and they're also not getting any feedback or information from their side. So like every time they like move to a new town, they're like, Dark is here. And then they like either teleport or do something to that town. They learn new information like, well, Dark was here, but the other enemy so he's in another town, but also the enemy just won a strategic battle, and he's also no longer a duke. He's now this. And they're like, wait, what the fuck happened?
We just got here.
Yeah, like we've been gone for 20 minutes and all of a sudden he's ranked up and also attained a whole new level in the army. So like every time they move to a new town, they get like a new bit of the story chapter told to them in like quick succession. Yes. So they're just like, what the fuck is happening? So yeah, I'm like, oh, isn't that like, I like that nice little parallel. Like, oh yeah, we're just getting dumped a shit ton of info about like everything going on in just 10 minutes. Yeah, so I'm not sure what they're planning to do. I don't know if they're trying to like find him so they can talk to Dark and convince him to like defect to their side or something. And granted, I thought the other kingdom was still in a frenzy trying to find their master mage, who just decided to fuck off.
Yeah, the dragon was just like, nah, I'm gone, guys.
So yeah, I don't know if that plan's just been scrapped now, because they're just like, we don't know where he could be. He is a dragon. He doesn't have to help us if he doesn't want to. And there's no way we can really force him. So yeah, that other side element that's still in the fire to be worked on. But yeah. Anything else though on these this last return chapters so far? Are we looking forward to anything to come out of this with the war? No?
I have no idea where this goes.
This topic could be some more.
I mean, you figure at some point the war is
gonna go find some type of demon or something.
Well, I mean, he has to, because that's supposedly the thing that's keeping him in the his current form. His current form is because a demon is essentially cursed him. So yeah, but I am still waiting for, at least, because the last chapter I believe ended with the king also stating that he was going to make his way to the battlefield. So I'm kind of hoping that there's going to be a standoff between him and Dark, just a little bit, because he seems like an arrogant asshole that just like wants to test somebody, and Dark is always the person that's like, do it, punch me in the face, I want to see how strong you actually are.
Like Goku He's like, oh, somebody's strong. All right, we're gonna fight.
You're really strong. Do it again. These idiot moves, yeah. All right, but anything else though on those couple of chapters? Anything else I missed? Anything you wanted to bring up though?
No.
Nope. All right. Yup. Let's go ahead and move on here. Ark, I'm gonna have you take this one with Peerless Dad. Some shit has gone down.
I mean, lots of stuff has happened. Peerless Dad, our main character here, has established his own like group because he's like, well, we need political power now because I need you to take care of my kids. In order to do so, like I have to establish a political group. They've basically gone out and like went bandit hunting, and then while this is happening, we find out that like the sons are like, yeah, we're training, but like it's not as fun as it used to be. Basically,
it's basically turned into work.
Yeah, it's like it's work now. It's not fun anymore. It was like we were goofy off before, but like now all these kids are like challenging us all the time. We were like, man, we were just training to have fun, but y'all like made this not fun anymore. And then we have it where the love interest was like visiting the kids, and then the dad was there, and then the cousin of the love interest who's supposed to marry her shows up too, and he's like, oh, what are you doing here? And she's like, you dense motherfucker. There's only one reason why I'm here.
Don't fuck with my plans.
Here, that's him.
Don't fuck with my plans, boy.
Yeah. And then we get a very heartfelt like flashback of like the daughter is asking her dad like, hey, how did you meet mom? And then we find out that like their mom was escaping a bunch of like people, and then because she was being attacked. Obviously, the hint is that their mom is probably like part of like a
part of something else,
plan or something, and
like
she was
family.
Yeah, and she was escaping, and the dad found them. The dad protected her because he was like love at first sight.
Yep.
And then they hooked up, and that's what happened. But there's also the hint of like what's going on with the daughter, because the daughter's met with some sort of character, an old lady who must be connected with the mom's like family in some way somehow, because the daughter is like generating this weird energy thing that she's definitely not used to, and we're going to unfold that mystery soon.
At some point here. Yeah.
I think the last story was the flashback, right?
Yeah, with the
latest chapter was a flashback.
With the flashback with mom.
Yes, and that's where we're at. So.
Yes. Thank you for all of everything. Yeah. So, I think the old lady is supposed to be grandma.
Maybe it could be an aunt.
It could be an auntie. It could be an auntie.
Yeah, it could be auntie.
But I think it might be grandma. And yeah, she is either communicating or watching the daughter, because I believe she's had some contact with her.
My guess is like this. Okay, so we know how like there were like the old man, the old sweeping man who turned out to be like Master Roshi, basically, right?
Yeah.
And he was talking about like stories before. He's like, oh yeah, the ice queen up north and all this stuff, right? I met her before long ago. I betcha that was the hint, and we're gonna like find out that they're like. That was like part, like their family, like the mom's family.
The mom's family. She's somehow related to that.
I feel like that's the only thing. Like that's the trope, and that's the connection, right? But like that was hinted so long ago, and then now it's like.
Now it's paying off.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing with the old man was that like he would tell the truth, but they were such high fantasy like stories that no one would believe him. But it's
because
like,
he's
no.
Scrawny old man.
Yeah, he's a scrawny old man. But he's like, yeah, I used to be da-da-da. And I'm actually not poor. My family's well off. I did all this stuff. And you're like, but you just sweep here all day. And you dress like, oh, how do you any things? And then we like come later on. Yeah, he's basically Master Roshi in disguise. His student or maybe I don't know how he's connected, but he's somehow tied with the guy that's
the person he passed the title to.
Okay.
It definitely sounds like he used to be in that position of power, but then he was like, life isn't for me. So that he left.
He did the thing like all of them do when they get to a certain stage. It's like the golden hand wash. They're like, all right, I'm done with this world. It's the next generation's turn to, you know, follow through and take care of things. So yeah, he like you said, he gave the title to somebody else because it's just their time. But yeah, when you bring up the fact that he talked about the Ice Queen, it's like the story sounds so made up, but you know everything else about this guy has turned out to be somewhat true. So yeah, that would be kind of hilarious. That also now we're getting more information about Mom, who we've been like kind of kept hidden about. The kids don't really ask too many questions.
At this point, everyone just assumed that she was just like a regular person.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
A regular pretty person, and they hooked up and married. All right, there was no indication at all that like she was a runaway princess or something, right?
Well, yeah, that's because there's never a character or exposition that, you know, came up from him or anybody else to like ask about that.
Yes.
It was just assumed they were of me.
The kids are like now old enough to ask, like, "Hey, can you tell us about Mom?" And that's what it is. So
yes, well, at least one of them is. The sons still seem to be caught up in their own thing. The daughter is very clearly gaining power and questioning now about where am I getting this power from? I'm not particularly doing anything unusual, so why do I feel so much more powerful than I should?
The last important bit. Then the daughter tells the dad, he'd be like, "Hey, you should remarry.
You should marry.
You should remarry that girl because she really likes you, okay? And everyone approves of her, so you're fine." And he goes, "Really? You think I should?" And she goes, "Do I need to hurt you?"
I don't need anybody else. I have you kids. You're my life. Yeah, but you don't need us. Eventually we're gonna go away. You need to be happy. Don't make me slap you. Yeah. I like her attacking her dad about that, and then him real quicking like, you know, she's too smart. I'm gonna have to fucking keep my eye on her.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure 100% where we're going in bits with the story. Granted, I think the love interest is, while she might like him, she's also doing this for some kind of political moves at some level.
She doesn't want to be part of the political world. She's like, I don't want to marry into this because like I want you to like by my choice.
Well, she doesn't want to marry the chosen heir for her. But I mean, even if she doesn't want to deal with the politics, he's automatically putting the family into the political situation because he needs the protection because of his station now. So it's going to come ahead at some point. Not to mention his current goal, more than anything, is to attack the new, more or less, dueling brothers who are vying for basically being the new leaders, and he's trying to hurt both of them. So yeah. Which, funny enough, is kind of in line with our would-be outside villain, with him and trying to like take down the Miram world, because he wants to disrupt everything, and now Dad kind of is like, well, these guys were dicks to me, so I'm going to try and get rid of them at some level. So is this a potential idea of seeing like maybe those two are probably going to hook up in some way?
They might be allies later. I mean,
I hate them. You hate them. I hate you. Yeah, but I hate them more.
Yeah, like he's like, all I want to do is just have a good life and like take care of my kids. He's like, you know what? We can do that after we kill them. You know what?
You know what?
Right.
You serve a good point. Someone has to avenge Ak, and there's not enough blood in those two, in those two individuals, in order to appease that. So we can do this. Yeah.
You can take on the entire nation. That's fine.
I mean, he's already got most of the entire village on his side or at least the Providence, because he's been going out and bandit hunting. So the area is clean, and that gained them some notoriety.
He's the only person doing his job.
Oh, I mean, yes.
Yeah, literally the only person.
Yes, he is the only person doing their job out there. So, yeah, that's raising his level and station. we haven't seen the Heavenly Death group in a while either. They're moving also in the shadows right now. I don't know if they're trying to work to take on the other guy as well right now, or what their goal is, because it's all being headed by the daughter, correct? Do either of you remember that?
No.
Don't remember.
Like, the last thing I remember from them was just her and some little kid, and then her like telling like, yeah, and it was supposed to be after the root incident where he got the jinxing root from the one other bandit that Dad ended up taking.
He got that little elixir root.
Yeah, because the other guy was using that as bait to supposedly lure out the heavenly group, and they were like, "No, I can clearly see what this is. I'm not going to fall for it." But they were like,
Yeah.
"Was it really worth like leading that out in the world?" You know, and he's like, "What does it matter? It means nothing at the end of the day as long as we get our target." But like that's the like last thing I remember like those two individuals being opposed on.
It's been a while ago, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of forgot.
I mean, they have some of these other threads that are just extremely thin and only pop up every so often. So I'm just like, what are they doing? What's the importance of them moving in the shadows here? So yeah, and I only keep remembering it because it has to deal with our great grandfather Moon there, but he's over in Red Sun, too busy, doing his own thing, being a half god taking on Jesus. So yeah, I think that I can't think of too much else from everything we've got so far between with the daughter and her new abilities exploding out, and the sons and their little like complicated scuffle with learning, which I'm still wondering if we were ever going to get any information from the martial arts college about their ability, since that was taken in for research, but that hasn't come back out yet either, or at least it wasn't explained to us if they made some discovery about it. Yeah. Seraph's like, when did all this happen? Who are these people again?
If it's important, we'll see it again. It's fine.
Yeah. If it was,
I was gonna say we're gonna see it later on because they usually come back to it.
yeah. I mean, they
They're
haven't.
really good about that. They haven't let us down yet when it comes to.
Yeah, they haven't brought up something and just left it completely cold on the ground so far. So we'll see if any of that actually makes its way back into the light again. But I guess that's everything I have, at least on those couple chapters. Anything from you two that you wanted to bring up, that arc that you might have missed?
No.
Nope. Seraph, you all good?
We're here, man.
You good? Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on here to our next one with another series that just went on into its hiatus, and a well-deserved one in Lore Olympus. The trial has ended. We're done.
Yeah, the trial,
Punishment was given, and it was fucking bullshit.
The trial has ended, and we find out that Zeus is not as stupid as everyone believes he is, and he kind of like knew things already. And he was just like, I just need an excuse to seal her, to throw Persephone away somewhere, so like no one can usurp me with her.
No one can realize the exact reason.
And I was like, wait, when was Zeus smart?
The question is, no, I still hear you. You're fine. The question is when was he not smart? I just let everyone think I'm dumb so I can keep them all under control. This is what my fathers didn't do. Yeah. So the trial commenced on, but before we got to a judgment, Persephone. Oh, what? Something.
Oh no! Yeah, a Java update popped up.
Oh, okay. Then that's fine. Yeah. So before the judgment was given, Persephone did spill her secret to Hades, and
Kind of.
I mean,
more
it
like-
was enough. It was enough for him to put everything together
Yes.
without her like going into like great detail. It was still enough for him to be like, oh, I know what this means. And Hades definitely was going to kill a child that day.
Apollo's not a fucking child, okay?
Oh, dude. He was about to
Apollo-
murder.
Apollo's not a fucking child, okay?
They're all fucking children. They make very stupid decisions.
Yeah.
Very, very dumb decisions. But yeah, so Persephone did stop him from killing his nephew. Granted, he deserves a lot more, but he is now like stuck in half Titan form, where his arm is like glowing. Then he really can't control that too well. But also, he apparently in his Titan form he looks kind of like his father.
Yes.
So good news information from that. As we moved on from there, and the part that you were bringing up, Ark, was the fact that was it Ares pulled Zeus aside and had a little conversation with him, and it was specifically about like the history of
He's just smart enough to piece it together immediately.
No, yeah,
He's
like,
just
well,
listening.
isn't this kind of weird that, like, you're giving a lot of, like, extra work into this when this is clearly nothing? And it's like, well, she's a fertility goddess, and she's like, what do you mean, like, a fertility goddess of, like, creating grass and shit? Like, no, that's not what I mean. And isn't it weird that, well, Granddad got a fertility goddess, and then he got usurped. Dad got a fertility goddess, and then usurped. And then you got a fertility goddess, and usurped. So, isn't this kind of interesting that also now your current son is trying really hard to petition you to gain favor to marry a fertility goddess?
Ares is like, you know what? If I wasn't married already, I would have done this too. And then that's why we get like the reveal where it's like Artemis is like, wait, Zeus is my dad, and then Apollo's like, I am your son, and then I was just waiting for like Jerry Springer to show up.
Oh God!
And be like, the test says he is your son. Like, oh no! And someone just throws a chair across the window.
And then everyone fights.
The cameraman is running.
just running back and forth. Yeah, I was even surprised. I was like, wait, did no one know this? Was this like surprising to anybody?
I thought that was weird because
Like-
I thought you were all supposed to know this.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, I would figure
Don't
this
just
is,
question where these guys just came from.
especially for the fact of like, everyone talks shit about Zeus. Is like, yeah, Zeus sleeps around like a lot, like all the time. Like they make a constant joke even in the trial of like, oh, well, let's talk about your other son. And then both Poseidon's wife and Hera just look at each other and then look at them and then look back. And I'm like, so we all kind of get this joke, right? And just that reveal, and I was like, wait, no one knew this? Like,
Yeah, I thought it
he's
was kind of
purple,
weird. 'Cause I
she's
was like,
purple, that motherfucker. Like, what?
I was like, isn't it? Shouldn't it be obvious? Because I was like, doesn't like the mythology say that Metis got punished by Hera because Hera was like, no, bitch, I know you're pregnant with Zeus's kids, but so long as like you like on Earth you cannot have a child. So then they have like a weird thing where she has like a child on an island instead because that's how they hid the kids from Hera. So
Yeah.
I didn't understand this part because I was like,
I mean, I guess.
I was already had problems with Metis, so I was like, oh. So
I mean,
maybe she just knew that they cheated or they slept around, but like she didn't know they had kids.
They didn't know they had kids. I mean, it's also kind of a misdirect for it because they talk about like, well, let's talk about how Persephone was born. Persephone is essentially just like all of like the Titans. Some of the Titans had kids. She just made her. She took advice from other things, and then Demeter just put her together.
Demeter was just like, all right, I'm just going to Lego you together, daughter.
Yep, I want a kid. All right, well then I will gather these essential different beings and elementals, and I will create a child like that. So I guess maybe they just thought the Apollo and his sister just showed up because it's like, well, Mentis wanted a kids, and so she just put them together. So yeah, I guess that was supposed to be the misdirect for that.
I guess, but it's fine. I just wanted more of the Jerry Springer episode.
You just wanted that shit. Okay. Oh yeah. So, and speaking of putting kids together here, when the other part of the trial continued forward, we got another appearance from somebody else who wanted to make some confessions on the stand. Very specifically, Hera and Zeus's first child, who is essentially more of a psychopath than even Ares himself. Because as they said when she showed up, you tried to kill me, and it's like, or you banished me, and I'm like, you tried to kill me, child. So,
hey, you didn't give me any love.
Yeah,
that's what I was expecting.
Yeah, they're like, you didn't love me, and I'm like, yeah, because you tried to stab me. Kind of hard to do that. It's difficult to love a child when you have to wear a flak vest because they're near you. But
I also like how it's implied that like all of the female goddesses knew how they all knew Demeter had like a daughter. Like they all knew because they all showed up some point and gifted her a gift to some way somehow.
Yeah.
Right? And then they're like, yeah, we knew about her daughter all along. But we're like, so no one said anything about Persephone the entire time.
Apparently, Demeter is a Titaness. She is, even though how they portray her in this, she's still essentially the strongest of all the gods in the entire pantheon that they have currently, or at least she should be. Yes. She's the oldest, and she should technically be the strongest. So, this is why she was able to also like make that network of like when, Hermes and what's his name found out about Persephone. She made that deal of, you shut your mouth about who she is and we won't have any problems, and they all agreed to it. So it's not like she doesn't carry some level of weight. So it isn't surprising that all the other goddesses showed up and they're like, just I have a child, just don't say anything, it's cool. It's cool, be quiet, just be good, be cool.
Which I think is weird. Like at that point it was like, okay, so I thought it was just like a secret that like between like a couple of people. No, it turned out like over half
the Pantheon knew about it and just said nothing because
just everyone just kept their mouth shut about it. I was like, man, this is weird because everyone gossips and there's no way no one slipped.
Well, okay. The one person who's also her one of Persephone's best friend is also known for being the biggest gossip, and he kept his mouth shut. So, I mean, as long as I guess the secret is from the one person that everyone kind of collectively hates, they'll all agree to it. It's like, just don't tell Zeus, and they're like, all right. It's like, I hate that guy anyway. This is going to be real easy. So, yeah. The amount of just web of lies here that's going around for that entire bit was kind of just hilarious. Everybody knows. So but
all the goddesses had at some point given a gift to Persephone for at her birth. So like they're like, that's why that's why I was like, okay, so you're telling me that Aphrodite gifted Persephone beauty, yeah.
Yep.
So you're saying that when Hades was like, hey, this girl is prettier than Aphrodite, and Aphrodite
got pissed.
I was like, bitch, that was what are you talking about? You're the one who did this. Get out of the way. You got angry for no reason.
Wouldn't that exactly be like Aphrodite, though? I only meant for her to be pretty, but not prettier than me. Fuck that bitch.
Right? And then,
there are levels.
And then we find out that Eris is the reason why fucking Core and Persephone has anger issues. Because she's like, I gave her anger issues.
Well, she didn't specifically give her anger issues. She gave her wrath.
Yeah, it's wrath.
Very specifically wrath. And that's why she's like, well, why do you think you're so like inquisical and like you like to like know more or have a sense of wonderment? Yeah, it's because you have wrath. So yeah, her random fits of, you kind of may want to murder people, or your powers just are going to go out of control. You're going to do something you can't really handle, yeah, that's my gift. And I like her response is, it was funny.
Yeah.
The whole thing was, I just did it because.
Why would you give me this? Why would you want me to kill people? Because it's funny.
Did you see the joke? Yeah. So poor Corey stuck with.
And then Eris just leaves. Like.
Well, Eris
You
then.
can't keep me here.
Well, then her brother attacks Ere. Attacks Ere. Of course, his opening stand of like, I'm gonna put her back in her cage to keep her safe, because the whole thing was like, well, she's not banished, but also everyone in Olympus is afraid of her, because of course with her ability, if she gets out of control, she can just cause mass destruction and havoc, and she's
the goddess of chaos.
Yeah, they can't really do anything to stop her. So, just feeding into her is kind of like, let her just get this out of her system and she'll go away again because she'll be bored. But Apollo apparently at least had some level of being able to stop her, because so he harpoons her.
And then Apollo was like, all right, this is where I reveal my identity,
And then
this is where I take my rightful place from Dad. And then Zeus was like, nope, we're going to cancel that. What? I don't care about it anymore, guys. Just go away, Persephone. Now you've been exiled, all right? No one has any sort of like contact with her now.
Yep.
And then we see Hades and Persephone do like this, like, tearful separation, and then hiatus.
Well, her punishment, outside of being pushed, is she has to learn her powers while on Earth, because she has to still transform Minith back. She has to undo the curse on Minith to turn her back. She has to do it without any contact from anybody on Olympus. Demeter is, what happens to her again? I forget what Demeter's punishment is.
I don't think Demeter had any sort of punishment besides the fact that she can't see her daughter.
Okay, I thought Demeter got a separate punishment, because she asked her to take all of the. Demeter asked originally to take all of the punishment, but I think
but it didn't make a difference because as far as we can see, Apollo had already pieced it together, and Zeus was just looking for an excuse. Anyways.
Well, yeah.
So Zeus was going to do this anyways. It didn't make a difference as to what was going to happen. So the punishment is just to separate.
It's to separate Persephone from anybody else.
Yeah.
Essentially. And more specifically Apollo, since, he kept asking that favor, and he kind of, since Ares figured out, he knew that's what Apollo's aim was as well. So, yeah. So Persephone is now banished to the mortal realm without any contact from anybody else on Olympus, which I'm sure Hades will find some way to skirt that rule, because he doesn't give a shit about what his brother thinks. But yeah, so end of the season for Hiatus, and
it's not end of the season, it's mid-season.
Mid-season end. I think the creators said that they're going on about like a 3 or 6 month hiatus, correct? It's going to be a bit of time. She wrote it down at the very end in the epilogue there, but I know there's going to be a bit of time for the hiatus as it is. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed everything that we got out of that trial, especially.
It was just all chaos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's funny enough because Eris shows up and chaos ensues, essentially, exactly what you would want. So, Persephone being punished, the reveal of Apollo to everybody, and his sister being Zeus's kids, which, once again, we all were kind of just like assuming of like everyone knew that. And then even more so, Ares just being like, I kind of know the plan, what's going down, but I'm gonna let this happen as it is. So who gives a shit? What did you guys think, at least for the end of this entire first mid-season? Do we think that did we all enjoy everything we got from this all the way to the end for the trial?
I mean, like I said, all I needed was just a chair.
You just wanted a chair. So you just wanted Jerry Springer. That's all you wanted from this.
If I had a single chair thrown across the room, it would be great. And then This would have been a great.
10 out of 10 for you for that.
Yeah.
You'd have been like, chair, 10 out of 10. I'm good. The rest of the story doesn't matter. I got what I wanted here. How about you, Seraph?
Still not caught up.
You're still not caught up, so we just spoiled all that for you.
Cool.
Just about that. He's reading right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said at the beginning of this, I'm not caught up.
Please hold. Your business is important to us.
Home.
I was
Man.
wondering what you were reading because like it kept on flashing by, and I was like, I bet you he's catching up.
He's doing a speed run right now.
I said before this.
He did.
Do a quick
He
speed
did.
run.
He did. Yeah. So either way, I'm thoroughly happy for everything we've gotten so far out of this series, and the mid-season finale was great. Everybody we've seen so far has just been a fucking blast to see what all of their different issues are. I mean, just in quick succession towards the end of there, we got, Aphrodite's son again. Eros?
Arrows.
Yeah, he got the reveal of him finding out that the nymph is actually his lover, and her like piercing Apollo, and his which
We'll
then
see
led
what
to Daphne.
The consequences of that.
Well, I mean, I've just, but just like that reveal, like we're in the middle of the trial when that happens, and then, we were discussing the whole thing with the Apollo and Daphne story, and we're like, how is this gonna end? And then right after that, we get into the trial and everything else and the mess that's happening there. Yeah, it's just good little drops of gems of just like, yes, please, more. So many coins spent on quick chapters to get caught up on that story. But yeah, so deserved hiatus break for the writer and artist on this series. Ark, did you ever pick up the physical book? I know you were talking about it.
Kambi got it for Christmas.
Oh, my girlfriend also got it for Christmas as a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
So a read for her then in the house. I have not stolen it and read it myself again just because, but it is in the back of my mind.
Yes.
It looks really nice. It looks.
No, it's a really nice.
It's a
hardcover.
really nice hardcover. I do commend them on that. They got some good quality. But yeah. Anything else though that you guys wanted to bring up for Lore Olympus on the mid-season? I know Seraph is kind of like, I can't say shit right now. Give me a minute, I'll get there. Click, 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 click. Ark?
No, I'm good.
No, you're good. You're good. All right. I guess at this point, did we want to bring out the news announcement for the group here? So the reason we had a longer break going forward was that we were basically discussing what we wanted to do with the show continuing forward, and we came to the conclusion that we're probably going to go on a bit of a hiatus ourselves, all for personal different reasons. I know Seraph's still going to be running his own channel. He's got that. He's got other stuff he's going to be doing as well. Oh, you were going to say something though? You were pointing.
Yeah, over on Twitch.
Over on Twitch, yeah. And just make sure everyone knows it's over on Twitch. Links are in the description, is down below, But yeah, he's got outside personal stuff he's gonna deal with. I know he's gonna be working on some cars. Hopefully, I'll get to see one. I'll get to drive one.
Spring comes along, man. Once my car is done, I'll let you drive it. You can feel the power.
The power. There's so much power here. Yeah.
One thing about cars, if it don't knock you back in your seat, it ain't worth it.
Yeah.
If you
So
don't hit the accelerator and you don't feel yourself getting
You don't
hit
feel
in the back of the seat, it ain't worth it.
I made an imprint in the cushion. It's too strong. Yeah. So we've got that. I've got my own personal stuff. I know that I'm currently trying to start up some other personal things I have going on, businesses and getting a new job and stuff. I've got some at-home things I'm going to be working on. I wouldn't say that the channel's not going away yet. We haven't decided to do anything like that. Just a little bit longer of a hiatus to get everyone to let their own personal things kind of simmer out. We still have, of course, our big older brothers there with the Project Manga podcast going super strong, and
insanely strong.
So very strong, so super strong over there. We might make some guest appearances on their show, not to mention the Otaku cast as well. JD and those over there. We've got. You'll still see us every now and then, see us around. We still got the Facebook page going strong, posting up random clips and pics from all of our favorite webtoons and mangas. The Twitter will still be live. We'll probably be talking out there out loud, just saying whatever we find and feel.
It's like
you're just like,
I ain't gonna lie.
It's all right.
Heavily on that department.
It's all right.
I'm sorry, everybody.
I ain't pushing anybody on anything right now. We all got other things we wanted to do though, but I just wanted to get that out so everybody knows. If you don't see any new content uploaded on YouTube, this is the reason why. Just taking a little bit of a breather. I know these last 2 years have been kind of heavy on everybody and all the things, and I know a few things in my life have changed, and some other big things are coming down the line right now that I definitely have to put all my attention into. So yeah, I can't find a good schedule to split my time between that and reading and then getting ready for the show and then editing. It's just like, all right, one of these things is going to fall through the cracks if I'm not on my game 100%. So I gotta drop a few things right now so I can make sure the plate stays balanced on all levels. Arc will continue to exist. I've decreed that so far. So even though that, you might not see him, we'll be taking some live pictures and maybe make a journal of him so that he's still here. He keeps looking at me and shaking in disbelief, but he knows I'm going to make him do it because we care for him so fucking much. He got a birthday. He recently had a birthday.
Wait, when'd your birthday?
It was this past Monday?
It was Tuesday.
Oh, it was Tuesday. Okay.
Shit.
Yeah.
But we did go get food for one day.
Yeah, we got food. We had some lovely pho, courtesy of Sister. It was great. Got a cake. He was not happy with any of us being there and singing to him. It was so magical. I loved it. I got a video clip.
Y'all so mean to him.
Because love is pain. Love is pain, Seraph. And it's not pain for us.
It's pain for him.
It felt so good. Yes. So yeah. With all
apparently
that,
it wasn't my birthday, right?
What?
I said apparently it wasn't my celebration, my birthday.
I mean, it was a celebration.
All this man wanted to do was just play some games.
I mean, yes, he could play some games. He has a phone.
Also on a ride, you know what I mean? Like,
it's
it'd
fine.
be hit different.
Yeah, I need to get on that. But yeah, so I'd say that with all that being said, I don't know if either of you two gentlemen have any other things you want to bring up or discuss here. We're sitting about an hour 10 right now, maybe actually an hour 5. No, you're good. Okay, we'll start for your live journal here pretty soon. Seraph, as always, thank you for joining us. As it's been a pleasure here. Our big man Seraph has got that, like I said, he's got that Twitch going on, and hopefully everyone here caught that 24-hour stream he did. If you haven't, you can go back and check it. You can go back and see it.
27 hours in total, man.
You gotta get those IV. You gotta get that IV. You just put it right there. You just turn the bottle of just freaking Monster Energy, just goes in, and you're good. It just pumps and pumps. You won't even realize
that was
it.
My mistake. I didn't buy any energy drinks. I just
Dude.
went off of sheer willpower
Ooh.
for 18 hours.
Oh man, I remember in the past I could do that for sure. There were days where it's just like sleep. Who gives? I'm playing this game to completion. I will stay up and I could do it. But nowadays, nah.
I'll tell you what, me and my buddy Mitchell, we completed the entirety of It Takes Two in 9.5 hours.
Nice. We're just starting it here at this house. It is gonna be more than a 9.5 hour game. I will tell you that.
It's so amazing.
I will definitely tell you it's gonna be more than 9.5 hours here.
I never played it until then, and I can tell you that it deserved the Game of the Year award.
Good. I'm enjoying it so far.
100% deserved a Game of the Year award.
I'm enjoying it so far. I've had fun and I am playing
There
it.
was a scene where it wouldn't let me sleep.
Really?
It was so fucked up.
Oh god. Yeah.
For those of you who played it, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I will have to play some more into that. I am definitely gonna see about in the meantime trying to finish setting up the Twitch channel for us, and I'll probably just be doing some game streaming because my library has grown exponentially. I definitely want to get through some.
Like a Project WEBTOON Monster Hunter hunt together.
I mean, that is the current group game we have going on for sure. You know, Halo is still in the runs. I'm playing that on a pretty regular. I know you are.
Halo.
You did? I got my side group that
too
plays.
angry with it.
You got the salt kicked in too hard.
And then we can play Phasmophobia.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Phasmophobia. Some Windjammers got re-released. I'm gonna play some of that.
Risk of Rain 2.
Yep, there's definitely plenty of team games we can play. We got Overcooked here recently,
Oh, God.
so we could play some of that and watch the madness. I have not seen my girlfriend so stressed in her life playing that game. Like, just
My roommate has that game, bro, and I was playing it, and my God, if I tell you there was a vein popping out of my head, it was 5 veins physically popping
just
out of my
pulling
fucking
on your
head.
Yeah.
It was so stressful. Oh my God, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. That game definitely turns things up a notch every so often. So, all right. Well, I think we could go ahead and close out this cast for now. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this group as well as the community. Please continue to give support any way you can. Go ahead and definitely click that like button, hit the subscribe bell so you know when new episodes will drop when we get a chance here. I am definitely going to take my time and rerun through some of the older ones that I know I had to pull down because of, the copyright police were on a tear a couple months back. So I'm going to try and find a way to work my way out of that. See if I can get a format that doesn't get us freaking banned here and slammed with a hammer. But yeah, I will go ahead and close this out here for this one. It has been an honor with your big man Sleepy.
Later, guys. It's Seraph here.
And this is Dr. W.E.B.T.O.O.N.
That guy. Keep mentioning for his live journal. That journal he's gonna make for us. Yes.
We're gonna make a private Instagram for him to show that he's still
just show that he's still alive. Or just him posting like random pics and like, what the is this?
Day 1, not dead. Day 2,
Day 773.
Still not dead. At some point there will be an existential break. We'll get something. All right, goodbye, folks.